There we go. Awesome. We are officially live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Reuter, and tonight we have very, very special guests and recent Sherman Chiropractic School graduates, Doctors Hartman and Amanda Lutzow from Sherman. They're tuning in from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I could not be happier to have them on the show. They actually just recently opened their practice, and I cannot wait to hear the stories, the hardships, the challenges, but also the positives, those wins that we get when we step into that new paradigm of not school, but working every single day and trying to build a true small business and what that really looks like from the inside out. So I'm really excited to talk with them, share their story, and be able for you guys to ask questions. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments, ask away. I will make sure they're on Skype, but I will make sure that we get them to them. And if we don't answer any during the live show, we'll absolutely answer them afterwards. So please stay tuned for the duration of this. We're going to cut away to a sponsorship real quick. And then when we come back, we're going to dive all into Dr. Tim and Dr. Amanda's story, how they got into chiropractic, what that really looks like, and then all the way through how they opened a practice, just coming straight out of Sherman College of Chiropractic. We'll be right back, guys.
Let's do it.
To Inspire Women is the elite boutique coaching company for chiropractors who are looking to live life and run business in a way that is personal, unique, and authentic. They focus on business systems and money mindset mastery so you can pay down debt, be more profitable, and serve more people. Their goal is to empower you to achieve success by your own rules and your own definition. Head to toinspirewomen.com now because they know there's a better way. Chiro HD, superior cloud-based practice management software. Chiro HD is a user-friendly, all-in-one EHR solution built with one mission: to help you run your practice like a boss. Learn more at chirohd.com. Total Clinic Solutions is your go-to source for purchasing both brand new and refurbished chiropractic equipment, as well as phone support for repairs and maintenance. Call Derek and allow him to combine your wishes and his 23 years of chiropractic equipment expertise to find what's best for you and your patients at 704-622-4089 or head to totalclinicsolutions.com now. It's time that chiropractors look beyond spinal alignments and measured the nerve connections that keep our patients feeling strong and performing at their peak. CLA designed the Insight scanning technologies to transform exams and generate powerful reports that give practitioners the certainty they have been searching for. Learn how CLA has partnered with practices around the world by going to insightcla.com. Spinal hygiene products are designed to educate your patients on the importance of lifetime spinal care. To learn more about how spinal hygiene products work and to download the patient education material for free, visit spinalhygiene.co. Again, that's spinalhygiene.co. Easily share your passion for chiropractic and look good doing it with Above Down Apparel, offering a premium lineup of principled apparel that's impossibly soft, sustainably sourced, and chiropractic AF. Visit abovedown.co and follow them on Instagram to learn more and score yourself some sweet chiro swag. Sked is the all-in-one system that allows for amazing control and flexibility of your scheduling. Yes, your next new hire. Every aspect of when and where you service your customers is at your command. Sked is tightly integrated with your existing EHR system. This software was made by a chiropractor specifically for chiropractic. No joke. Go check out their latest care plan feature by heading to go.sked.life/legendarypod. Dr. David Toohill is an innovative product and marketing strategist, bridging the gap between your vision and strategic plan. He will help you design specific products and processes that are both scalable and set up to produce long-term revenue and growth. He has previously worked with influencers that include Dr. Josh Axe, Jordan Rubin of Ancient Nutrition, Olympic gold medalist Shawn Johnson, and many, many others. Schedule your call with Dr. Dave today by heading to meetwithdrdave.com. Training the best adjusters on the planet, Syntropy has reverse engineered what the masters do naturally. From the energetics to the mechanics, they've hacked the code to shorten your learning curve on the road to masterful adjusting. To find a seminar near you, head to syntropychirotraining.com. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. Fantastic. Welcome back to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. Thank you for allowing us to thank and show our extreme gratitude for all of our sponsors out there. And please stay tuned for the entirety of this episode. We're talking with Doctors Tim and Amanda who are graduates from Sherman Chiropractic College. And they are tuning in from Charlotte, North Carolina. And they are going to tell us their entire story of, really how they opened a practice and what everything is encompassed within that, right? Like, what does that look like for them? What does that look like for you? How we were just kind of talking off camera, like, we got to learn the business stuff, right? And they're going to bring that to the table today, shine some light on some of these things that we don't really learn in school. So, but before we get there, I want them to kind of share their stories, share their chiropractic why and how they got into this profession. And then we'll go into the topics and the main, the meat and potatoes, as they like to say in the Midwest, of the content. So, Dr. Amanda, let's start with you. How did you get into chiropractic? How did you get into this profession? And share a little bit about us. And then Dr. Tim, we'll ask you after that, all right?
All right. Well, I did not believe in chiropractic at all growing up. My sister used to go see a chiropractor. And I literally was like, you are so stupid to be spending this money. She would go in, I would stay in the car. I wouldn't even go into the office. And then fast forward to my undergrad, I played volleyball in college, and I had 3 different concussions. And I really started to experience my health deteriorate. So I had a lot of different headaches starting, and digestive issues, energy levels were like all over the place. And I couldn't really focus. Like, I would read a page and then I had no idea what I just read as I was studying. And so I just fought through that. I started taking different medications because I didn't know any better, and got really bad anxiety. And so with that medication came a lot of different side effects. So started to experience some depression with those medications, and got off of them really quickly. And then after I graduated undergrad, I was experiencing just like low back pain and, knee pain, things that everyone goes to a chiropractor for. And they had a good special, honestly, the chiropractor did. And I was like, well, I'm going to go check it out. I don't have a lot of money to spend. So I went, and it was the most amazing experience. Like, this doc was so incredible. She taught me all the things about chiropractic, how the body heals from the inside out, how we don't need medications. They were really into like exercise and nutrition, and that was something I really have always enjoyed. And so it clicked with me, and I started going, and I started experiencing amazing results. And I think that's what got me into chiropractic school. But my why is so centered around my niece, who was born 3 months early. She had vocal cord paralysis, and she had a trach in her throat, in her trachea, and then a G-tube in order to eat. And I just saw how my sister and my brother-in-law and my mom and dad struggled to really help her. And they started seeing a chiropractor. Shout out Dr. Tony Ebel. And she's like an amazing 5-year-old now who actually doesn't have a trach anymore, and she doesn't have a G-tube, and she's in gymnastics, and she's doing all these amazing things. And there are so many kids out there who actually have vocal cord paralysis. I didn't know that. And they aren't seeking chiropractic care, and they still have the trach for, their entire life. So that just goes to show how amazing chiropractic is, how amazing the Lord is. And so she's my why. I mean, gosh, I just have a picture of her, and it strengthens me every single day. That's why I love to see kids and pregnant women. So I think that's my why. What about you, babe?
Awesome.
That's pretty good. Well, it's cool because the why keeps redefining itself as you go through, with experience. My quick backstory: I was quarterback of our football team, rolled out for a pass, and basically got hit in my neck. My head went past my legs, resulting in a hyperflexion. And I felt this weird sensation go down my entire spine. The next morning, my back was in such severe spasm that I couldn't walk. So I went through that whole route, hung out with the trainers. They tried to help me there. After the first day, I was recommended 3 months of intense physical therapy, the best of the best in Raleigh, from Raleigh, North Carolina. Basically relearning how to walk, training the muscles, trying to balance everything out. Could get up to the point where I could do a slow jog, and then gearing up for basketball season, I stretched my legs, and then boom, just right back to square one, exactly where I was when I started this process. And that probably was like the lowest point in my existence, in my life. And anyone that's watching, that's an athlete that, did sports or cheerleading or whatever, when you're 16 years old, you're not even, John, the legendary chiropractor at that point, or Tim, Dr. Tim, the doctor, you're Tim, the quarterback, or you're the point guard or whatever. You identify yourself as what sport you play. So when that was ripped from me, it was definitely the lowest point in my life. So at that point, was looking at surgery, was on medications, icing my back every single day. And there was actually a specific doctor in the congregation of our church. And my dad had good results. And he said, "Do you think you can help my son?" He said, "Bring him in. Let's see what we can do." Showed him where the issue was, did these x-rays, took all these x-rays of my neck, said my issue was coming from there, not my back. Anyways, didn't really believe him, didn't understand what he was talking about. But after my second visit, my second correction, I knew two things. One, I was getting better. And two, this is why I was put on this planet. I didn't know the philosophy. I didn't understand how it worked. I just knew something inside me like awoke itself that this is my calling. This is why I'm here. And at 16, I knew that. And from there, I've always wanted to, have my own practice and just take this thing as big as possible. Because if that person hadn't been in our church, selfishly, I guess, where would I be, right? And I promised myself I would never let humanity suffer through that. So that's my why. It keeps redefining itself we've got hundreds of testimonials because of the work that we do, and it just keeps strengthening your why. And you don't really, you're not annoyed with people that don't believe in chiropractic because you see it hundreds of times over. So get more passionate.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like the moral of the story here is just hearing both of your stories. I love just asking what your chiropractic story is, because a lot of times, we get to share it with other chiropractors and chiropractic students, right? But a lot of times in practice, we don't necessarily share it all the time. And I think it's good to refuel that fire, I guess. But I think the moral of this story is that chiropractic really speaks for itself, right? If you are able to be adjusted and actually experience chiropractic in all of its glory, right? It kind of speaks for itself in both of your cases and in my case as well, right? I was 13 years old when I knew I wanted to be a chiropractor. It helped with my allergies, and I was like, what? There's no way. There's no way. And I was like, but I knew right there, as you said, Dr. Tim, I knew right there that I wanted to do what this guy did. And I was like, there's nothing more powerful than this, right? So I love both of your stories, and I really do think that if we let chiropractic really speak for itself, it's like gravity, right? It's going to work no matter if you believe it or not, and that's a Sid Williams quote, and it's just so true. So we're going to talk about tonight, the topics of tonight on the docket. These two, like I said, are fresh in practice. They're fresh grads, and I think they can bring a lot of great content and value to our soon-to-be graduates, especially at Life University here coming up in March, and recent grads who are maybe, they're out, they're practicing, but they might not be crushing it yet. And I know these two are crushing it, or otherwise they wouldn't be on the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. And that's what this is all about. We're going to talk tonight about what it takes as a student and what to take action on as a student to be most successful and get the most out of your student experience. going forward, we're going to talk a little bit about what they don't teach you in school when it comes to opening a practice, because we all know there are business classes in chiropractic school, but we can definitely put air quotes around those. We don't really learn much in the sense of like marketing and real business. And then utilizing technology in your chiropractic office. I'm really intrigued by technology. As you can see, I love to podcast and do all of this stuff. So I'm interested to hear what their take on this whole entire topic is, because I've talked to people like David Fletcher, who runs Insight Scanners for CLA. I've talked to, Gabriel Doughty, who does Chiro HD for EHR, and these guys are brilliant in technology, but how does that actually apply to the doctor, right? How do these things actually apply to the doctor? So we're going to talk all about those things tonight. So let's take it away. Let's talk about taking action as a student. First of all, what does that mean to you two? And how can we best get the entire chiropractic student experience, the best one possible, going throughout our years in chiropractic school? Go ahead. Whoever wants to start can start.
All right. So I would number one say you have to invest your time, your resources, your money into growing yourself. You have to know who you are, what lights your fire. Tim and I did he did a few mission trips. I did 2 mission trips, and those were the most amazing experiences because you're able to get your hands on so many people, number one. Number two, you can't connect with people unless you speak Spanish or the language verbally. And so it's so impactful to be able to connect with people energetically and to feel the love rather than have to communicate it. And people need that here in the States more than ever. So I think that is super important. Being vulnerable with people. Like, you guys do not need to be perfect, and people don't want you to see, they don't want to see perfection all the time. They want to see that you're just like one of them. So definitely developing yourself, investing your time, investing your money into mission trips. Those are really critical. And then another big one is learning how to sell. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, like, we need to sign people up for care so that they can get well, so that we can pay the bills, so that we can see more people to get people well. It's just a cycle. It's just the way business goes. And so learning how to sell is going to be really important. Tim is huge on Grant Cardone, Gary Vee. There's like tons of different people that are going to teach you to take action and learn to sell. So those would be like my huge takeaways, something that you can implement like next quarter or the following quarter. Reach out to people that are in charge of these mission trips and go on a mission trip. Yes, it costs money, but you guys, you have to invest your money in order to grow. I mean, point blank, period. Get over the fact that you have to spend money. You just have to do it.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm glad she's on the show because she makes it sound so much more elegant and loving than I do. I'm I'm going to give you the practical steps. This isn't rah-rah, pump you up. This is practical, and the only thing that you can do is not do it and execute, right? Ideas are cool. This is all great in theory, but if there's no execution, nothing in your life is going to change, right? It'll only get worse. I would say 100% mission trips, speaking opportunities. I was part of ROAR, which is Reach Out and Recruit at our school at Sherman College. That is basically, you're an advocate for the school, or you're a recruiter for the school that goes and speaks to universities. Basically, you're signing people up or students up that are interested in becoming a chiropractor as a profession. Those skills, that training, helps prepare you for when you do screenings or when you do talks or when you do whatever. You're just basically switching what you're doing. Instead of signing students up to go to be a chiropractor, you're signing patients or clients to get under your care. It's the same thing, just a different switchover. Dynamic Essentials is another great seminar. That was a great foundation for us. Started that before I became a chiropractic student. So those are like the big 3. Mission trip, any speaking opportunities that you can get as a student, whether selling to school or, as an intern, whatever, and then Dynamic Essentials. A couple other things too, we could have done a better job, but we did okay with, is like getting your equipment now. If you see like an awesome deal and you're confident in your technique, you're confident in an idea of what the office is going to look like, buy that stuff now while it's cheap, while you're not really earning money, you're basically receiving it from the government, and like put that money towards something that's actually going to bring you back an investment. What else as a student? I would say don't really worry about student loans, because paying student loan back does not reinvest back anything in your time. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. As a student, I visited 75 offices. So whether that was me during class, taking time off, or on my breaks, I looked at breaks as you can either get ahead or you can get behind, right? Because there's someone always that is trying to catch up on your heels. So I visited over 75 offices as a student, several in California, which is where we thought we were going to practice, in our states, wherever, every single type of technique, every single type of vibe, like see it all. And it's going to help you formulate, if anything, what you want to do. Mm-hmm. So that's most important. It's easier to check those boxes off. Amanda said learn how to sell. So important. That comes with time and experience. Students, I don't really know if you're going to get that in school unless you're working at like a bar or stuff like that. But it's the same. There's similar principles that can carry over. But really had that passion, had that why that's going to fuel you to learn how to not necessarily sell, but provide value for people that people will exchange their money for to receive your service, which is what selling is. And then stay up to date. And you guys know more about technology as students than our mentors in chiropractic do, right? Look at this stuff, TikTok, Instagram. You guys are already doing it. How do you make that and utilize it for your business? So learn those principles and then just grow it now, right? Like you can't think of yourself as a student. You're a doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would agree with everything both of you said, and I actually kind of wrote them down for in 7 different categories and kind of tried to keep up with you guys. But I would say number 1, time, money, and energy into yourself throughout chiropractic school is priority number 1. I mean, when it comes to investing in yourself, you're investing in the future of what Dr. Tim just said at the end there, the doctor that you are going to become, the doctor of yourself, right? So it's really, really important in the sense of understanding what that time, money, and energy looks like, investing it back into yourself, and doing what you have to do in order to advance yourself forward into the future, right? And seeing yourself 10, 15 years out versus actually doing what you need to do now. So awesome. You guys are back. You're good. So number 1, just time, money, and energy back into yourself. Invest in yourself. Number 2, be authentic. And I like how we're going to kind of tie this into the technology conversation at the end, but be yourself, be authentic. People don't want to see, like Dr. Amanda said, people don't want to see perfect all the time. If your videos are always edited, if your videos are always perfect and you crop out all of the the stumbles, then people put you on a pedestal, but they also see right through it, right? It's very transparent of like, there's way too much there. There's way too much work going behind that. So just be yourself, and that's why I love live podcasts, is because we get to laugh. We get to enjoy the struggles of technology. You get to experience all of this, and it's real life. Number 3, learn how to sell. Absolutely. We're going to talk about that later in this episode, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. And number 4 was shadow. Dr. Tim visited 75 chiropractic offices. That is the number 1 advice I can give any chiropractic student out there listening to this, is shadow offices. I don't care if you like it, love it, hate it, you think it's the worst or stupidest thing in the world. Meaning that office, meaning shadowing, meaning that technique, whatever it is, you want to know what you love and you want to know what you hate before you graduate from chiropractic school, no matter if you're going into chiropractic practice right away or if you're associating, because then you're going to start looking for associate docs who are in your corner and are doing what you want to eventually do, so you can open up your practice if that's the route you're going later on. And then I wrote down this one as well. I like how you said stay up to date. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But the last one was action. Action is the number 1 thing missing from majority of people out there. And we can talk about students, we can talk about docs. It doesn't matter who you are or where you fall on that spectrum. Action and implementation of what you learn, because there is so much input, knowledge, and everything is coming in. And you are having to digest it and figure this out. And it's applying it that is actually going to get you to the next level. It's actually going to take you to the next stage. So action, take action. So we're going to take a quick break. After we come back from that break, we're going to talk all about what they don't teach you in school when opening a chiropractic practice. And this is the main reason why I had these two on the show and what I want them to share with you, because they've been taking notes, they've been taking lessons and writing their struggles down, writing their successes down, and how to apply that to you and your journey through opening a chiropractic practice if that's what you want to do after school. So stay tuned, everyone. Every chiropractic clinic needs a compliance program. If you are not sure what that includes or why you need one, let Dr. Robin from RHDC Consulting help you build your chiropractic compliance. If you are ready to get started, head to robin-hale.mykajabi.com and let Dr. Robin guide you to the end result. Turnkey Practice is a chiro-focused full-service team. They are your administrative guidance through credentialing, lease agreements, and of course, office build-outs. They are there from start to finish, allowing you to focus on the marketing and building your patient base while they build your practice. Tailor-made for you. To get started, head to myturnkeypractice.com/legendarypod. Dr. Christy Wick is revamping the landscape of women's chiropractic coaching. With a focus on connection and congruence, she's on a mission to empower lady DCs across the nation to create bold, successful lives and practices their way. Get started today by visiting theilluminatedsquad.com. Imaging Services' primary business is chiropractic solutions. With over 45 years in the industry of helping chiropractors, Michael Tokash offers free consultations on building your business. In the past year, Imaging Services has installed over 100 X-ray machines and digital X-ray systems in over 42 states across the United States. For more, head to theimagingservices.com. The 56-day chiropractic boot camp, building badass female chiropractors who are instinctively successful. Head to 56daychirobootcamp.com/legendary for your free Endless Referrals cheat sheet now. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. Awesome. Welcome back to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. We have a little bit of a lag, so if you're tuning in and you're watching this, just bear with us. If Dr. Tim and Dr. Amanda just go, freeze for a second, I'll try to pick up where they left off when they come back into the frame, but it's all good. That's technology for us, and we learn to adjust and adapt as chiropractors day in and day out. So this next topic is teaching you what they don't actually teach you about opening a practice in school. So take it away, guys. Dr. Tim, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about where this topic came from, why you're so passionate about it, and give us the insight on the scoop of what we need to know.
I think because it's all hype, man. School is all hype. Like chiropractic is this, chiropractic is that. Your life has changed. Just serve the people and do that. And there's some things that, hey, you can have all this love and passion in the world, but like at the end of the day, banks aren't giving you money because that's a high risk, risk for them. So they're not going to do that. So number one, if you are serious about opening up your own practice, whether it's going to be 2 years after you graduate, you may associate first, or whether you're going in, even as like a third quarter student, get an LLC, or if your state requires it, a PLLC, that is a limited liability corporation, or a professional limited liability corporation, right? One thing about the banks that we had an issue with was it wasn't a matter of getting money out. It's because we did not have 2 years tax returns, right? I have proof that I made a bunch of money as an associate doctor, but because this was a different entity, a different business, they needed 2 years of P&Ls to give us money. And since we didn't have that, we were not able to get anything. So number one, that will save you the biggest stressor, which is getting money to invest in a practice. I know there's investors and different things with chiropractors or chiropractic groups, but start your LLC earlier so you can do what you want to do faster. Get credit cards now as a student, get a credit card, just put gas on there and then pay the gas off, right? Just build that credit up with whatever stuff that you need, whether it's an x-ray machine or, tables, anything else. So you have good credit, you'll be able to get those leases and those loans for that. Find a CPA in your area. Like if you know where you want to live, start cultivating that relationship. I would say on the spectrum one, that's not like fresh out the gate, but one that's not at the end of his career. He's still hungry. He's still young. You want him experienced, but you want him hungry enough that he's actually going to give the attention that you need to make sure your numbers are in order. That is very basic, but I'm telling you, school did not teach us any of this stuff. The most basic thing.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You want to add anything to that?
Trying to think here. What else? The credit cards is good. Oh, and when you guys buy stuff with your credit card, like tables or whatever, those are all going to be assets at the end of the year that you're going to be able to write off. So don't be scared about that. Those are good things. You obviously need them for your practice, and you'll be able to write it off. Keep your receipts. Make sure all of that is very detailed. You can get QuickBooks. Everything is so user-friendly in terms of technology in order to run a business. So utilize those very simple websites and programs.
But you can't do that if you do not have an LLC or a PLLC, right? You don't get those tax benefits. So very basic, not rocket science, but school didn't teach you that. No one ever taught us that.
Right.
I think what else? That's really like some of the basic stuff. I would say a couple things too. I took a bunch of notes. We came prepared because we want to give you guys practicality, not rah-rah. There's other speakers that can do that for you. Ask for a second generation space. Okay, for any of you, please look at our website, limitlessdocs.com. The first picture on there is a picture of our website. It's freaking sick. And that's not just us, but it is because we took a second generation space, right? Not only did we save money on build out, but we were able to leverage free rent, right? We got 5 months free rent because we did not ask for any tenant improvement allowance, which that's for another show. But you can leverage those things. A lot of that stuff is already built for you, so you don't have to keep constructing things, right? It never costs money to destruct, but it definitely costs money to construct, build things up. So tearing things down doesn't cost money. You can always change things, and you can get creative. So that saved us probably $120,000 right there from the build out that we do have. So if you want a gold nugget, that's another one. Ask people in the community, right? Sometimes we think it's so hard, we just have to ask people, hey, what events are good to go to? Where are the holistic-minded people? You had something that you want to add to that too, right?
Yeah. So like utilizing your space, you guys, when you have an office, utilize your space. Open it up to the public, to people that you've built relationships with. For example, just a very simple networking group that I'm on through Facebook, Crunchy Moms. And so they're all about chiropractic, but they come to the office and we have our networking meetings there. So it's a great way for them to see it. You're going to build that know, like, and trust factor. They're going to feel comfortable in your space, and they're going to be more apt to refer you people. So utilize your space and allow people to come in and use it. That is huge. Eventually, if there's enough demand, you can start charging people too. These are all things you want to definitely keep in mind. Also with x-ray, we do upper cervical work, so we need x-ray. But we didn't have a space in our office to build x-ray, nor did we want to put the funds into it, to be quite honest. And we have an imaging center right across the street that we utilize. We have an amazing relationship with them. We literally just write an x-ray script. The people go over there, they get their x-rays done, and then we get a disc, and then we're able to mark and analyze all their films. And so we're saving so much money through x-ray. Yes, it is a little inconvenient, but we're saving so much money. And
clients are saving money too. They can go over there, use their insurance, right? Because we're taking upper cervical films, right? So we're probably taking the most specific. So for you guys that aren't, you can go over there, send them films. They can use their insurance. It's cheaper for you. It's cheaper for them. You don't have to have the conversation. Mm-hmm. And like our day ones are like 25 to 30 minutes, right? We don't have to sit there and take x-rays.
Yeah.
So
just in and out.
School didn't teach us that, right? No one said, oh, refer out to an imaging center. Like take x-rays somewhere else. Absolutely. We don't have to worry about that. Mm-hmm. So super easy, super convenient there.
Don't be nervous about it. We were definitely nervous. Like, no, everyone has x-ray in their office, but no, it's like, it's totally fine. It's across the street, and people 98% of the time have no issue. So definitely utilize that.
It's all about how you frame it. I think you guys have to be prepared. What school won't teach you is like, you have to be prepared to go all in, right? Unless you've got a rich uncle, which maybe some of you do, but like we had like 15 grand saved up. I'll just give you the numbers, and we basically blew through all that trying to find the space, living off our reserves, whatever. We put literally all of that money and lost a lot of it trying to find all this stuff, but all that money in to this idea, like to an idea, not even in an office.
Mm-hmm.
So be prepared to go on. I want to read this quote. I got this from Elon Musk. It helped me get through some of the dark times, but my proceeds from PayPal were $180 million. I put $100 million into SpaceX. I put $70 million into Tesla and $10 million into Solar City. I had to borrow money for rent. All in. The question is, are you all in?
Right.
Like, are you all in committed to creating the office, creating the life, and the practice of your dreams, right? That's the question. You got to ask that question, and you won't really know until you get there. We've been there.
Yeah.
So
because your vision is so clear, are you super confident in yourself that you can make this happen no matter what? You're going to get the people, that kind of thing. Like, be super clear on what you want, because the Lord cannot bless you when you're not specific and you're not clear.
For sure.
So do those things.
Absolutely. And then you never know. You might find an office that's already furnished, or the build-out's done, and it's in a retail location, and there's high ceilings. I've never seen an office that had, like, high ceilings. We're the only office that we know, and it makes the space look twice as big.
Yeah.
So just a little neat tip. You've seen like the high top ceilings. So thought that was pretty cool. What else, man? There's so many things. We spent everything we did. Oh, basically, so long story short, this will humble everyone. Because we did not set up a PLLC or an LLC when we were students, we got denied from 12 banks. Right? We got denied from 12 different banks, and then you get to the point where it's just developing that, rejection muscle, right? And you're just flexing. Like by around 8th or 9th, we just kept laughing. Oh, you're not going to be able to do it, or you can't get the money, you don't have the funds, and we just laughed. It's like, we're going to make this happen.
Yeah.
And you're going to be mad that you didn't invest in us, right? So we basically developed an idea. Never heard this in school. School did not teach us this, that you could literally sell an idea to people. But we created this launch partner system where we said, hey, look, we have an opportunity for you. This is what our space is going to look like. We need your help getting this. It would help. Here's what it would look like for an individual. Here's what it would look like for a family, for a full year's worth of care. Getting them to buy into you and your mission. And we had, 12, 13 people, families do that? Something like that. And had the exact money that we needed to put the down payment on the space and then for first month rent. So we avoided the banks and were able to get in.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Over the weekend, my dad came and he painted our office. We did like little things to the space in terms of construction, that kind of thing. And that Monday or the Tuesday, I think it was Labor Day, we were open and like ready. And guys, you don't have to have it all figured out.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's okay, and you're going to learn every single day what you need to keep, what you need to get rid of, what you need to tweak, and it's okay. Again, you don't have to be perfect right out the gate. You just have to open those doors and allow people to come in, because people need what you have.
For sure.
So don't hold back.
Yeah, take the risk, man. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It sucks, but it's always worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, that's what I got for students as far as like practicality. Again, the big one is the people that were going to be successful that are students in this podcast that are hopefully going to surpass you and I are the ones that are creating an LLC either right now or after they watch this podcast, man. Those are the people that are going to crush it.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
And it's so easy. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think
what they don't do.
Yeah, and I think what a lot of it comes down to is the reason that we get so hung up on, the business stuff. We hear all this stuff. Like, everyone tells you, you got to learn the business, you got to learn the business, you got to learn the business. But it's never real until it has to be real. Does that make sense, right? Like, so what you said, like the real successful people who are listening to this podcast and are actually going to go home or tonight or after they listen to this and they're going to buy an LLC for their future practice, if that's what they want to do, those are going to be the most successful people. But not only does that require them, one, taking action, but also listening and trusting in people who have already experienced it and telling them and giving them the advice to do that, so that their lives are that much easier, right? Because we can listen to the like, I'm the same way, Dr. Tim. I listen to Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, Russell Brunson, like all of these guys, right? And I listen to them, but I think every time I listen to them, what can I take away from what they're offering me for free and actually start to utilize in my life starting today? right? Because those are the people that are going to take what they learn through all of this input and knowledge and actually start applying it to real life and avoiding so many pitfalls and valleys in their journey of success. Yeah, no one's success is linear and going straight up. But at the same time, if you can learn from some people like Drs. Tim and Amanda on what they've experienced and what they've gone through, then that means more than you would ever know. That means more than you would ever know. And that's why we have people like them on the podcast, so that you can understand what this really looks like. So I absolutely love what you said. So get an LLC, get a credit card, have good credit, find a CPA. I think that's really important. So a CPA is an accountant. Find an accountant that's hungry, that's young, that's willing to work with you, because they're going to understand, especially if they're a solo or a small business CPA kind of person and they didn't step into an H&R Block or whatever. They'll kind of understand the struggle of the small business, and they'll know what taxes look like for that and what that really looks like for you guys. So I'm really pumped that you said find a CPA. And then the fourth one was utilize your space. So for meetings, for events, etc., utilizing your space is really important. And I like that Dr. Amanda said that, because you're going to be paying rent. You might as well show people when you're not adjusting what your space looks like, so you build that know and trust factor that Dr. Amanda talked about. And that's so huge when it comes to, if they hear in the grocery store the next weekend about someone who has gone to see a chiropractor or needs to go see a chiropractor, they'll be like, oh, I know exactly where to send them. I know this person, I trust this person, and their office is beautiful. It's like, that's where we have all of our networking meetings. That's what you want to find. So I love that. And so just going all in is so important in whatever you do, right? And I would say even in school, go all in. Be there for the time that you want to be there for, but understand that it should not last forever, right? This is a stepping stone. This is a milestone that you need to get done with. Boards are a milestone. Classes, certain tests and teachers are milestones, right, to advance past them. But when you get out, you're going all in there as well, right? It's just a different frame of mind, different energy, and all of these things. So I really appreciate you guys. When we come back from this short break, we are going to discuss what you guys have in the works, what you're going to be working on mostly in 2020, and then we can finish and wrap up the conversation of utilizing technology in your chiropractic office. So we'll be right back, guys. Dr. Stu Hoffman, founder and president of ChiroSecure Malpractice Insurance, is the foremost expert in both risk management and risk avoidance. Understanding the everyday challenges of today's practicing chiropractor and the current public perception of chiropractic has made ChiroSecure the fastest growing malpractice insurance program of the last 28 years. Find out more at chirosecure.com. The IFCO is here to support you. Whether you are a chiropractic student, doctor of chiropractic, chiropractic organization, or member of the public, the International Federation of Chiropractors and Organizations is here for you. They recognize and support your right to practice and receive vertebral subluxation-centered chiropractic care and are here to ensure that right and spread access to that care throughout the world. Head to ifcochiro.org/legendary for more. Be sure to give our friends over at Chiro Hustle a listen. They are bringing together some of the biggest names in the profession and learning from the greats. Chiro Hustle creates a safe space where chiropractic leaders share their stories and their passions with the world. Let's get hustling by heading to chirohustle.com now. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. Awesome. We are fired up off camera, people. This is legit. This is what this podcast is all about, the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. So we talked all about what you need to do while in school to mentally and physically, continue being a kick-ass chiropractic student. But we also talked about what you need to do to prepare yourself and best prepare yourself to open a practice and what that really looks like, what those nitty-gritty details are. And we were talking a little bit off camera on I've been to so many coaching groups. I've sat in so many coaching groups and so many meetings with so many doctors, but nobody's going to stand there. And that's why I love having these two on, is because no one's going to stand there and be like, you got to get an LLC. To the coaching group, right? It seems like a no-brainer. But to someone just coming out of school, that's why they don't mention it, right? But to someone just coming out of school, they're like, where do I turn? What do I do? How do I do this, right? And you have no idea what's right, what's wrong. And yeah, you're going to make some mistakes still, because nobody's perfect, but at least you can get a good start on your journey to success, is what I like to keep saying. So talk to us a little bit shortly on utilizing technology in your chiropractic office, and then we're going to wrap up the show on just telling us a little bit about what you guys have coming in 2020 here.
Cool. Want to talk about some stuff?
Yeah, so with technology, we already talked about the x-rays, so just know that that's an option for you guys. This is way more your space. Dr. Paige Sigmund is the best person to know when opening up a practice. She's another great person to get on the podcast. She taught us so much about how to save money and get things early on, so we didn't have to invest so much. So one of the things was the software, the EHR. There's really expensive software out there, but we literally have Soap Vault is what it's called.
Soap Vault. Yeah,
and
Soap Vault.
There was a free trial, I don't know, and now it's $37 a month or something, and you can create all your intake forms, and everything's online, and they get their intake forms through their email, and they can fill them out while they're on their phone. It is the most convenient thing. It's going to save you tons of time in the office. It's going to save you tons of paper and ink. So all of those things add up. So think about that kind of stuff. And I'll just mention, on your iPhone, you have your contact card. So we did not have a space, obviously, when we left the old office and we were trying to figure things out. We literally just had our phone numbers. So instead of having a physical card, we just had our contact card on our phone. And this is something you can send people. It has your picture, has your cell phone. Eventually you can put your address in there, your website, all of these different things. People don't lose contacts. They'll lose your business card. So make sure you guys have this and send it to people and ask them, what's your number? I'm going to send you my contact card. That way you have all my information. Mm-hmm. And then you'll be getting their information. And then save that information and follow up with them. They don't contact you. You can talk about the other things.
Yeah, contact card was good. I've always do that. I don't really hand out business cards, but again, the key point to that is you get their contact.
Yeah.
Handing out a business card, it's in there. The control is in there,
right,
in their hand, right? When you get their number, you actually have some control on that with the follow up, and people can't lose that, right? One thing to say with Soap Vault, man, when you're starting up, phone calls are coming in all over the place, and I can literally schedule people from my phone and send them intake forms from my phone. So being mobile as well as being cheap and efficient. I would say this is just a principle. Sometimes if you want to go up to where you want to go, you have to go down and see how people are playing in it with a very low overhead. And that's what we've done, right? All these mentors, they tell you do this EHR or this, they're losing a lot of money because they have it, but there's actually more there's cheaper and efficient ways to do it. So my favorite thing, just an option. One thing too, you can utilize this too, Dr. John, soon to be, is when you're a student in clinic, there's an app called Sideline. I wonder if I can pull it up here. Let's see. Looks like, it's called Sideline, literally. It's funny. It used to be a hookup app to give girls fake numbers. But that's the ironic part of it. But this is our business phone in the office. This is our business phone right now. Guess how many lines we have? We have another line into our office. Our client care expert has another line. We have 3 lines in our office. Guess how much that costs us?
How much?
$9.99 a month.
Perfect.
$9.99 a month for 3 lines. And guess what? I can text people, I can send them videos, etc. for $10 a month. Right? Landlines were like $80 to $100 a month, and they're cordless, you're strapped. Like, this keeps you mobile, this keeps you free, this keeps you fresh. So that's another piece of the technology. It's called Sideline. Maybe you can give them things in the show notes, whatever. I can send you that info, but
you can not like
pretty
create
awesome.
Your own number, but there's like options. So if you want a particular area code, you pick whatever area code. You can set up your own voicemail. Obviously, if we miss a call, it sends that number a text directly and says, we'll get right back to you. Or if you need to reschedule, just let us know like when you'd like to come in, and then text us if you're a new client or prospective client.
We'll get back to you as fast as we can, right? So it's texting.
It's great.
When it comes to technology, most important principle of technology, speed. Speed wins every time, right? You can have a hustler, grinder, but technology, we can blow you out of the water, right? The guys that you had mentioned, they use technology because it's speed, it's resourceful, it's sales, right? And this is probably the most important, and I'm going to say it, you got to have speed when it comes to making money, right? How fast can someone give you their money in order to start care or in order to start an opportunity, right? So get like a chip reader or a card reader, right? We use Shopify, but you can use Square, you can use WordPress, you can use all these different systems. So like you're at a screening, you go through, it's a few taps, no one's ever writing anything out. It's a few taps, they can select their appointment, and then boom, then they can pay right there. And we instantly get that notification, and that money gets into our account 3 days. I mean, you want reps. The hardest thing that I saw in the other office, because these,
Just don't write things down.
Don't write things down.
Nobody wants to write things down. It takes time. Everyone is used to a phone. Find something that's digital. Get a little thing that goes into your phone. You can swipe your card real quick. Yeah. Something like that. Do not have people write things down. It is a bottleneck. It's going to waste so much time. Don't do it.
Right.
If you want more information on that, let us know.
Easy. Because the hardest part is, hey, say you do sign someone up at an event. Now they have to write all this stuff out. And that takes maybe 7 or 8 minutes, and you just lost other people that could have been coming through. Hey, a few taps, here's your appointment time, excellent. You got an email reminder, and then boom, you can pay right here, whatever special you do at a screening. It's just, it keeps the door going, because you really can't, and students need to hear this especially, you cannot help people until they come into your office. Going out and giving philosophy on chiropractic or talking about chiropractic testimonies does nothing for them. You think it does, but it doesn't. The only way you can help them is if they come into your office, right? And you get them, sign them up for an appointment. So that's so important with the technology. Please capitalize on that. Sideline, Soap Vault, it's a Canadian company, super cheap EHR. Your contact card, don't waste your time. And then we talked about the imaging, and then the X-ray, and then the card reader. Like, make payment efficient. Another thing we can do in our office with our platform, say someone's like, that's great, we can send you a product through your phone, you can pay right from your phone. Right? Or you're at a screening, I don't have my wallet on me. Oh, that's great, you have PayPal? Everybody has PayPal on their phone, right? They can pay literally with their phone, tap to pay, right? How quick can you get people's money? And they're not consciously thinking about, I'm going to spend whatever money you are offering for a special, right? It's just a tap on their phone, right? That is the way actual businesses are. If we're not catching up with the trends, someone else is going to pass you.
Yeah.
That's the reality of the situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's to come, guys, in 2020?
2020, man, it's to keep growing, expanding our reach. One thing that we're doing differently is we're developing a brand, right? So we have like swag, we have apparel, right? It's I am limitless. Our mission is to allow people to literally live a life without limits. Chiropractic is just what we do, but everything else is an extension of who we are, right? This is a brand. This isn't a chiropractic clinic or a coaching group or an office. This is a brand, and when people know Limitless Chiropractic, they know that they're under some of the best chiropractic care and the best healthy lifestyle that they could be under, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's the mission. Keep growing the brand, man. Extend your reach.
Yeah. Serve more people. I mean, right? At the end of the day, we need to get more people well. There's so much stress out there, and people just need an experience like they've never had before. The welcoming environment, and all of these things, the love that you have for these people, like, allow them to feel that, because they're not getting it anywhere else. So the goal is just obviously more people.
Reinvested back in. One thing we did, which is really cool, we had a very successful grand opening. We did it nothing like any coaching groups have told us. We had a DJ, We had a photo booth. We had a Surfer, which is the Panthers mascot. I mean, dude, we had several hundred people come through the door, and it was a freaking party, man. Like I would say we made chiropractic fun. You would not tell that these people were there for a chiropractic grand opening, man.
Yeah.
We got to give back to an organization, a nonprofit. I think that's really our mission, is really like giving back, right? Like giving back to the community and elevating the standard for what chiropractors are or who they are and what they do, right? We give back, we reinvest into the community. And I think people are attracted to that. You know, people aren't attracted to chiropractic; they're attracted to who the doctor is, right? Are they pouring back into the community? I mean, long-term vision. We want to open up multiple clinics. I want to change the stereotype of how associateship is. I think associates should always have an opportunity to receive compensation for the people that they bring in and the hard work that they do. That is in any normal business. I think associates should have that opportunity, and they should get paid well for it. That's my thing. You don't get paid for the time that you're there. You get paid for the results that you do and you bring in, right?
Yeah.
'Cause that's real. That's real life.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I want to thank you guys so much for being on the podcast. Thank you so much for giving me an hour of your time tonight on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday evening. And I want everyone to know that April, we have a huge launch. Well, not really huge. It's a soft launch, so keep it down, I guess. But it's a soft launch of our new platform, the legendarychiropractor.com. We are in the works and have been working for like 3 months now on just building this platform out. And it's going to be really, really cool. And I hope that, you know, when we launch it and soft launch this, it's not going to have all the features and functionalities yet because full launch is not until July, but we want to get a taste of what is to come and see if those functionalities that we do have on the platform right now actually work how we want them to work and make your lives easier. So we just talked all about technology, and that's what we want to do for the chiropractic profession, and especially chiropractic students out there. We want to make your lives easier when it comes to finding associates, finding seminars, finding mission trips, finding things for sale at your school. That's what the Legendary Chiropractor is all about, is making your life easier as a chiropractic student so that you can be most successful, as we just talked about, when you get out and you graduate and you're on that other side of the stage. You know exactly what you're doing and you have all of the resources that you could possibly want in your back pocket. Now you just have to go all in and apply them. So thank you, Dr. Tim. Thank you, Dr. Amanda. I appreciate both of you. I hope you have a lovely, lovely evening. And I know 2020 is going to be full of big things for you. And if I can do anything for you, always reach out, okay?
Appreciate you, Doc. You're going to crush it, man. You're already implementing things now. Love your branding, love your mission, and
awesome. I appreciate it, guys. Have a great night. Love you all. Bye.